We've talked about this before, that deep within the Tory psyche, there is the most primal fear of not only just Nigel Farage, but Reform UK. But even deeper than that primal fear, deep embedded, deep within the Tory psyche, is still the fear of UKIP. Sure, it might have changed its name. Sure, well, it might be the Brexit Party, it's Reform UK, but they still fear that. And I'll tell you what, the Reform UK civil war might be about to have a monumental twist. we could see we could see the return of UKIP. And when I posted this in our politics social chat, Max said today in response to that, UKIP's back, baby. And I'm like, yeah, but so is the ultimate Tory nightmare of not only having to deal with Farage and Reform, but now with a resurgent UKIP. Just, I can't. There is not enough popcorn in the world. There is not enough popcorn in the world to have to look at what is going on here and what could happen and what the next twist in all this might be as well. Not only that, we also found out this morning Rupert Lowe is now apparently suing Reform UK, which, as I've said before in my last video, could be very interesting because if that goes to court, then what is going to come out is we are going to see all the internal workings going on at Reform UK. That is going to be fascinating when that comes out. Oh boy, expect a lot of inside gossip coming out if that comes out. So let's have a look at this brand new latest twist in the Reform UK civil war. It is honestly, it's been good feeding since the weekend. It's really been good feeding just watching this unfold. Couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of people. Anyway, before we do go on into this, please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button down below. Of course, there is the Patreon page. There's the one-off station link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can well buy me coffee, the YouTube thank you button, and of course, as always, there's the Pony Club down below as well. So let's crack on then into this with the Financial Times reporting on this, saying Elon Musk has expressed his support for Reform UK rival after dispute. So Elon Musk has now expressed an interest in backing an alternative to Reform UK, following the spat that has now erupted last week between the Populist Party's leader Nigel Farage and his most high-profile MP. The tech billionaire's ally says that he has indicated he would support a credible alternative party. And according to people familiar with the matter, after Reform on Friday suspended Rupert Lowe as one of his 5 MPs. Reform claimed that Lowe had been reported to police over the alleged threats of violence against the party's chair, and then a lawyer had been hired to investigate allegations of bullying in his office. This civil war has now thrown Reform into disarray and threatens now to overshadow the momentum the party has built from its extraordinary polling successes. Whereas its support has now recently topped that of Labour and the Conservatives. But as we've said before, and we keep on pointing out, all these by-elections since the general election, they haven't exactly been winning. They haven't exactly been winning these by-elections. And like I say, last week, 9 by-elections, Reform didn't even win one. They're coming across more as a paper tiger than anything else. Most of their councillors that they currently have aren't from people who won as Reform UK candidates. They are defections from the Conservatives. But anyway, back to this, because it's just going to get even more funnier now that Musk is going to get involved in this. And what on earth is he going to fund? Is he going to end up funding Dominic Cummings party that he's meant to be planning? This like I say, this could have huge twists and turns. Are we going to see, as I said, alluded to at the beginning, are we going to see a resurgent UKIP party? Who knows? Who knows what may come of this? But anyway, In December, Farage, of course, traveled to the US and announced that Musk was considering making a significant donation to reform, with the media reports claiming he could provide up to 100 million. Musk then did not respond to any request for comments on his suggestion that he would now back an alternative group. This has thrown this support by now the right-wing parties around the world, including Reform's Alternative for Germany, which made huge gains in the election last month. He has also now forged a bond with Italy's right-wing Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni. Though Musk, of course, became very heavily involved in British politics at the start of the year, tweeting about the UK dozens of times a day, and often disparaging the Prime Minister Keir Starmer. His engagement has, of course, tampered off since he took a very prominent role in Donald Trump's administration, advising how to slash government spending. Yeah, Musk has been a very busy boy. and like I say, I guarantee you, we are going to get like the full story in a couple of years to see how really bad it was all going on with the boys at Doge. I think it's a lot worse than people let on, like we've seen with the stuff from Twitter that's come out over the years. You saw one thing, the reality was it's even worse, with the fact that Twitter could actually be taken down for a significant amount of time due to a hack. I don't remember that happening under the old Twitter administration, as far as I can remember. It's very difficult to think of one happening in the last administration. But under Musk's, I think Twitter outages, I think, have gone up under him. Anyway, one senior, of course, close to Lowe, has said that there has been discussions among the former party officials about now forming an alternative group to reform, although they were very clearly aware of the huge challenges that would entail. So bear in mind, Rupert Lowe has a huge pull in reform, a huge pull, bigger than I thought. Quite frankly, there's a lot of Rupert Lowe supporters in reform, and if they go and they break away and they form an alternative group by saying, "Oh, look, you don't understand, Nigel's not fit for it. Reform isn't the quote the party of change you want." That then makes potentially 3 breaks for the right wing vote. All I'm going to say is that could be hilarious. That could be very hilarious if that happens. Anyway, Rupert is a fighter. He's a bulldog, and he will not be bowed by this, the person said, adding that Lowe is now considering suing Reform for defamation. Well, I think it's been announced this morning that he is, from at least what I've heard this morning. The person said that the quote real trigger of the tensions between Farage and Lowe was, of course, Musk's decision to post on X back in January that Reform would need a new leader, alongside its indication that Lowe could be that possible replacement. Yep. Everyone has been saying this, that was the pressure point, that as always, Farage does not like to share the spotlight. Always was going to happen sooner or later. Divisions, of course, between the two men have now only intensified in recent weeks. Lowe was angered about the party's decision to announce a new plan to impose taxes on renewable energy companies to recoup the government subsidies. One of his companies installs solar panels and battery storage equipment, and that will be subject to the tax. Oh, this is such a dumb idea from Reform. Oh yeah, all these subsidies we've given to these renewable energy companies so that they can get up off the ground and get started. We're now going to impose a tax to recoup all those government subsidies. Oh yeah, great way to kill off an industry, that, guys. Great way to kill off an industry. Anyway, the policy was, of course, in part designed to irritate Rupert, said one of Lowe's allies, who said he was now visibly angry after it was announced. Lowe told the Financial Times on Monday, taxing subsidies is an oxymoron. Lowe also claimed that he is now desperate to deport a huge number of illegal migrants. He has also now exasperated tensions. He said on X over the weekend, or Twitter over the weekend, I have been warned by those at the top of Reform about my position on deportations. And as you likely know from the reading my extensive output on the subject, I did not listen to a word said. So This all comes really to party discipline. And bear this in mind, if you are Nigel Farage and you cannot control such a small number of MPs, how are you going to potentially try and control 100 more or plus? That does not bode well for Farage's party management. Because guess what? All these other MPs, they're wanting to go make television experiences. They're wanting to get their name out there. And Farage doesn't share the spotlight. So bizarrely, reform becoming more popular, becoming thrust into the spotlight more, as you see with other parties, they field more of their candidates. Even the Conservative Party put out other people to do the media rounds. Farage is the only one that does the media rounds practically. The party will fall apart. The party will fall apart if it gets bigger. It will just be even worse than this. They will be fighting like rats in a sack, and it has not taken long for them to do this. Anyway, back to this. So Musk then endorsed several of Lowe's posts relating to illegal migration and deporting thousands in recent weeks. Lowe has been, of course, making now considerable more income from his engagement on Musk's social media platform than Farage as part of the social media site's creative revenue program. Gee, I wonder why that might be. Has Musk perhaps boosted Lowe in the algorithm and reduced Farage in some way? He might have. um, anyway, the creator revenue program, which allows premium users to monetize posts that get a lot of traction online. Lowe's received over £20,000 in payments from Twitter since December alone, while Farage made 4,000 in that very same period, according to the MP's register of interests. Gee, I wonder why. Anyway, Farage has, of course, accused Lowe of falling out with all his parliamentary colleagues in one way or another. He claimed that two female staff members at Reform Party headquarters made allegations of workplace bullying involving Mr. Lowe. He also said that Lowe had been reported to the police over the threats he allegedly made to the party chair, Ziva Youssef, back in December. Lowe said that all these allegations against him are now politically motivated and noted that these alleged threats against Youssef were only reported to the police just last week after the Daily Mail ran an interview with Lowe in which he accused Farage of having messianic qualities. And again, it's Rupert Lowe, but I do sort of agree with him. All these allegations, just happen to, coming out at this exact time. Yeah, highly suspicious that. Highly suspicious, considering especially those threats made against Youssef were apparently back in December. Why have they only decided to report them to the police now? Very, very suspicious timing indeed, all this, isn't it? He's also said that these bullying allegations were not made against Lowe himself, but related now to another member of staff. So I think we're going to get a huge story about this. Oh, I think we're going to get a huge story about this when all this comes to light. Oh, and we are going to feed well when all this comes out. I can guarantee you that. A Reform spokesperson said that Rupert was, quote, informed of the independent investigation on the 28th of February. His interview in the Mail appeared several days later on the 5th of March. Jeremy Hoskin, one of Reform's biggest backers in recent years, told the FT that the public spat was very disappointing, saying that Reform needs to be gathering serious-minded people into its colours, not thinkers, not thinning now their ranks. Yeah, he's right. There's a lot of people like this guy who backed Reform as like, oh, this is the new Conservative Party. Time to start backing. Time to switch my money from the Tories back to over to them. They are. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if we started hearing that they started losing backers over this. I think you could see them start losing backers over this, and that I think would really put the cat amongst the pigeons at that point. Hoskin added that the alternative right-wing party that he has been financing more heavily in recent years would, quote, surely be enhanced by the recent developments at Reform. I would hope that discussions might take place between Rowe and Reclaim, he added. Lowe was speaking now on Dan Wootton's YouTube channel back on Monday, said that there was a way back into Reform UK. saying, I think it is highly unlikely. He also declined to rule out joining the Tories or even forming a new political party. Farage's party has made the net gains of 12 council seats in by-elections since the 5th July the 5th general election. I keep on telling you this. 12 council seats, 120 something yeah, we're getting close to over 200 by-elections. They've only won 12 council seats. But again, if Reform UK is so popular, why aren't they winning more council seats? Meanwhile, of course, this is compared with 23 net gains by the Tories and 2 net gains by the Liberal Democrats and a net loss of 35 seats by Labour. You know, you tell me why we should be worried about reform in that. And bear in mind, as keep on saying last time, you could see by the by-elections, by how the last general election was going to play out. We could see how that was going to play out. Doesn't seem to be, going a similar way this time, does it? But there you go. Anyway, Alex Stevenson, a former parliamentary candidate for the party in Derbyshire, who resigned back in January, said that the frustration among the party's now historic activists activist base was now posing a very real danger to reform. Farage and Youssef have purged dozens of candidates and staffers and leading some now to legal action. We have all been led to believe that it was a grassroots party, but it's being replaced by people who have money, who are either friends of the party leadership, said Stevenson. Gee, what a surprise! What a surprise! All this talk of changing reform and changing it to a more democratic party, not so. It's being backed by people with money because guess what? They don't like all those grassroots people. Oh yeah, give us your support, but we're not really going to do anything for you. Yet another interesting twist in all this, isn't it? Yet another interesting twist in this reform civil war that's currently going on. What is he going to do? I am looking forward to this court case because I can guarantee you now there will be a ton of documents come out about the inner workings and stuff going on in Reform UK, and that is going to be fascinating when that stuff and those stories start coming out. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.